for people. So.
Amazing. Well, a long way from the white tube socks on your hands, but we can all appreciate that.
Yes.
So I'm curious, as you think about expansion for As Ever, we've talked a little bit about, obviously there's global appeal that you could tap into, and there's also stores. Right now you're direct to consumer. Can we expect to see some of your stuff maybe in like a Target, or where could we physically buy it, do you think, in the next year?
Well, I think a retail component is so important, especially in growing a business, but also what I'm really working to convey and my intention with As Ever is getting back to things that are tactile, how we connect with each other. You want to put your hands on it. How does it feel? And you can only convey so much of that, obviously, in videos or in e-commerce. So I think my intention would be to have really bespoke, small retail collaborations, do some interesting ones as well in global territories. And then, of course, as you think about scaling, you know, it's a brand that's accessible, but it still has a quality that feels as though it's masstige. And so when we think about larger retailers, I think in the next couple of years that would make sense.
Great. And then I wanted to think about or talk about how you are using social media to pair content and commerce and promotion. You took a hiatus from Instagram. You came back.
January. Woo, it's changed.
You're back. You're in action, but you're not on TikTok. I'm curious, why, will you be going on TikTok?
I don't know. I mean, I think, look, I have had a very complicated relationship with social media, as you can probably imagine. And I also recognize the role that it plays in business. Part of it is, you know, equally the work that you were talking about earlier. My husband and I spend a lot of time working on online harms, specifically surrounding protecting our children, not ours personally, but.
The world paused in reverence today as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, stepped into the spotlight at the prestigious Fortune Most Powerful Women Summit in Washington, D.C. With the poise of a leader born from compassion and the courage of a woman who has redefined the global conversation on authenticity, Meghan didn't just attend, she owned the moment. The stage, painted in shades of empowerment and resilience, seemed to mirror her very aura, warm, commanding, and infinitely inspiring. The audience sat in silence, not out of obligation, but in awe. Meghan Sussex wasn't there to speak at the summit. She was there to embody it. The Duchess, dressed in a stunning, soft-hued outfit that radiated quiet confidence, sat across from the moderator like a queen seated in her rightful domain. Her composure was immaculate, her smile steady, yet humble. She spoke not as a celebrity or royal, but as a global force, a voice for change, for dignity, and for the women who refuse to be silenced. Her presence was electric, yet calming, her words a melody of intellect and heart. When Meghan speaks, the world doesn't just listen, it feels. Her sentences carry substance, woven with personal truth, advocacy, and an unmistakable humanity that the world has come to recognize as her greatest power. In that moment, the Fortune MPW Summit became something more than an event. It became a movement. Cameras flashed, but none could truly capture the depth of what was unfolding. Meghan Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, the mother, the advocate, the visionary, was giving a masterclass in modern leadership. Every phrase, every gesture spoke of grace under pressure, a woman who has endured storms and chosen light every time. Her journey from actress to duchess to global humanitarian isn't just a story of transformation, it's a story of intention. Meghan has never chased relevance, she has commanded respect. The conversation flowed with remarkable ease as Meghan spoke about purpose, resilience, and the need for conscious leadership in a digital age. Her voice carried the authority of experience, a woman who has walked through fire yet remains radiant. She reminded the world that influence is not measured by noise or fame, but by the ability to inspire meaningful change. Meghan Sussex has proven again and again that power rooted in kindness can move mountains. And here, on this stage, before some of the world's most accomplished women, she reaffirmed that truth. There was a poetic irony to it all. The very institution that once tried to define her could never contain her. Meghan has built her legacy not from the title she married into, but from the truth she chose to live. She has become the living embodiment of empowerment, a woman who challenges norms, speaks with conviction, and elevates others along the way. Her conversation at the Fortune MPW Summit wasn't about herself, it was about collective strength. She highlighted the power of women supporting women, the importance of mental well-being, and the urgency of using one's platform for purpose. Each word she uttered carried an undercurrent of love for humanity, for equality, for truth. As she spoke, the air in the room shifted. You could feel it, the undeniable magnetism of a woman completely aligned with her values. Meghan didn't need grandeur to be powerful. Her power lies in authenticity, in her ability to connect through empathy. She is not performative, she is purposeful. Her presence at the summit symbolized a global awakening, a call to women everywhere to step into their power unapologetically. She doesn't just talk about change, she is the change. For those watching across the world, it was a reminder that Meghan Sussex is not defined by royal politics or tabloid narratives, she is defined by impact. Her initiatives, from mental health advocacy to gender equality and community empowerment, reflect a woman deeply attuned to the world's needs. Her work through Archewell has inspired thousands, offering healing, hope, and humanity. At Fortune MPW, she reminded everyone that leadership isn't about control, it's about compassion. That influence isn't about dominance, it's about direction. As she sat gracefully, listening as much as she spoke, the visual said it all. Elegance meets intellect, grace meets grit. Her simple yet refined look, minimalist, understated, yet commanding, embodied the evolution of modern power. Meghan Sussex doesn't need to wear a crown to exude royalty. She carries it in her essence. Her calm confidence illuminated the entire stage, a serenity that can only come from self-awareness and strength. The dialogue deepened when she touched on motherhood and balance, a rare glimpse into how she channels her roles as mother, leader, and advocate with harmony. Her love for Prince Harry and their children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, glowed through her words. She spoke of legacy, of raising children in a world that values kindness over titles and empathy over status. There was no pretense, no performance, just truth. Meghan has always chosen transparency over tradition, compassion over conformity, and tonight that truth resonated across every heart in the room. Observers were quick to note that no speech could overshadow the power of Meghan's authenticity. She doesn't sell inspiration, she lives it. Every time she steps on a stage, she elevates it. Every word she speaks feels like a healing note for those silenced by fear or judgment. In a world obsessed with tearing down women of strength, Meghan continues to rise, not in defiance, but in divine purpose. The Fortune MPW Summit will be remembered for many things, but above all, it will be remembered as the night Meghan Sussex turned conversation into revolution. Beyond the applause and standing ovation, there lingered a deep reflection. This wasn't just another media appearance. This was a statement. Meghan Sussex reaffirmed her position as one of the most influential women of our generation, a global beacon of leadership, grounded in empathy. She stands not just for women in boardrooms, but for women in villages, classrooms, and homes who dare to dream. She gives them voice, courage, and vision. The world has witnessed her journey, from the glamour of Hollywood to the gold-lined corridors of royalty, to the grounded grace of humanitarian leadership. Through it all, Meghan has remained consistent, advocating for mental health, gender equality, and human dignity. Her words tonight reflected a woman who has embraced her power not as a privilege, but as a responsibility. And that's what sets her apart. She doesn't just represent influence, she redefines it. As the night came to a close, the applause thundered not only for her eloquence, but for her authenticity. The crowd knew they had witnessed history, the voice of a woman who embodies everything Fortune's most powerful women stands for. Her grace is unmatched, her intelligence undeniable, her compassion boundless. Meghan Sussex isn't just a figure of admiration, she's a force of transformation. In a time when the world desperately needs light, Meghan shines not for attention but for direction. Her legacy will not be written in tabloid ink, but in the lives she changes, the women she uplifts, and the truth she champions. She stands as a reminder that strength can be soft, that leadership can be kind, and that real power is love in action. At Fortune MPW Summit in Washington, D.C., Meghan Sussex didn't just speak, she made the world feel what true influence looks like. And in that sacred space of shared humanity, she once again proved that her power lies not in her past, but in her purpose. The Duchess of Sussex reigns not from a throne, but from the hearts of millions who see in her the reflection of everything modern leadership should be: courageous, compassionate, and completely unstoppable.
The submission itself sounds nice. And to my amazing and peculiar Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos and tuning in to Daily Diaries Friday's update. Keep it light, keep it there, and see you next time in our next episode. Bye bye. May you have a good day and a good time. Keep shining. Bye bye.